Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Super excited that you made it here today. Today we are going to be reviewing the very talked about Naked Reloaded palette. I bought this as soon as it went live on the Urban Decay website. It arrived in like 3.4 seconds. I think without rush shipping, it showed up the next day. So super excited to have gotten this in the mail. I loved playing around with it. It looks like this. It's really pretty. I really am happy with the eye look that I was able to come up with. So if you want to hear my thoughts and opinion and see how to get this look, please keep watching. Alright guys, let's get started. So I'm super stoked because we are going to be using the Naked Reloaded palette, which is which is Urban Decay's newest Naked addition to their collection because they discontinued their original Naked palette. So I just kind of wanted to compare because I still have my original Naked palette from when I bought it in high school. So many years ago. So this is the original palette. It looks like this. And this is their Reloaded palette. So it is quite different. They are not really the same at all, but they do have some of the same qualities in that they both are obviously neutral tones. And the Naked Reloaded palette will be able to be used, you know, with lots of very neutral palettes, but it's much warmer than the original Naked palette. So it has these peachy tones and these warm browns over here versus the original Naked, which had these warmer tones up here, but it was mostly cooler based down at the other end. So there really isn't any cool tones in this new palette. It's all warm, but I do love the palette. It's really beautiful. And in my opinion, kind of reminiscent of the Heat palette, just in terms of the fact that it's warm, I guess. I'll show you the Heat palette as well. Okay, so this is the Naked Heat palette, and this is the Naked Reloaded. So you can see there are similarities here. I think there are more similarities in the Heat palette versus the Naked original palette. Especially because of these three peachy tones here really look like they belong with the Naked Heat palette. There aren't the browns in the Heat palette like there are in this palette, so I think the Reloaded is a little more versatile if you like, you know, something super neutral. I really like the palette. I think it's super pretty. I would have bought it no matter what it looks like because I need to have the full set because I'm a psychopath, but I do really like it. I do think it's really pretty. I think there are a lot of color combinations you can do here. I think it will be flattering for many skin tones. And we'll just kind of have to play around. I hope that they've updated the formula a little bit to be like the Naked Heat. The Naked Heat palette is my favorite formula of all of the Naked palettes. I do like Naked Cherry as well. This is Naked Cherry, which also is similar with those three like peachy shades, but this is the Naked Cherry. The Naked Cherry and the Naked Heat have very similar formulas and they work really well. The original Naked 2, 3, and the original are good. And then I didn't think the Naked Smoky palette had a very good formula at all. So, you know, kind of hit or miss with the Naked palettes. But I hope that they have kind of updated these formulas to be really good. And I hope their foils kind of pack a punch because I think that's where they get lost a lot of the times with the amount of metallic shadows and all of the metallics in the makeup world. There's kind of no excuse to not have a foiled and metallic shadow that pops on the lid. And I think sometimes Urban Decay falls short a little bit in that realm. So we're going to find out today if this really stands the test and is a really good palette. It is not built the same as the other palettes. It's got this soft touch, satiny outer packaging, gold letters, and it's not that box shape that we're so used to, but it is the same like skinny palette here. It also is not the same in terms that these two on this side and these two on this side are bigger pans than the rest of these shadows, which has not been done in any of the Naked palettes before. And I like that because they are going to be the most used shades, most likely, these neutral colors over here. You know, and so I think it is smart to have them as a little bit bigger pans. Does mean you lose one shadow, I believe. 2 shadows? Let me count. The pan sizes look to be exactly the same, and they're still 12 shades, so I must have just smooshed them in differently. But so you still get 12 shades, still the same amount of shades. You just get bigger pan sizes on the ends of the palette. So with that all being said, let's go ahead and jump right into this eye tutorial. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know where it's heading yet. Could be something fun, could be something hideous. I don't really know, won't know till we get there. So I'm just gonna start playing with the shades that are calling to me the most, and we'll just kind of see where we land. To start, I'm going to go, I've already primed my lid, so I'm going to go ahead and put a base shadow down in this shade, Bribe. Okay, then I am going to go ahead and use a Sigma Fluffy Blending Brush, my E40, and I'm going to go ahead and dip into Bucked, and just kind of use this as a transition shade. I'm going to keep it on the lighter side, so I do think I want to play around with the peachy tones. I don't want to have to do a major cover up. I do want it to have some depth. Okay, so just added a little bit to my crease there, and I decided I am going to go in with those peachy shades, so I'm going to pull out my Fluffy It Cosmetics brush. I have rubbed the number off of it, but it's very domey shaped. And I'm going to go in with the shade Retro. I'm going to have a little bit of a heavier hand here. Ooh, that had quite a bit of kick up. I think I'm going to do kind of a halo eye. So, spotlight eye. I'm going to kind of make sure it's on the inner and outer corners. I'm just keep going over that a couple times until it is as pigmented as I want it to be. And I'm going to really concentrate that in the inner and outer corner. I'm also going to bring this underneath my eye just a little bit. Alright, so now I'm going to look for a little bit of a smaller brush here. I'm going to go with this little guy. And I am... I'm just kidding. I'm going to take this little small guy. And I'm going to mix Retro and Endgame because there really isn't a good intermediate shade that isn't metallic. So I'm just going to kind of mix them both. Add some more dimension to this crease. I'm going to take the original brush that we used Retro on and kind of just lightly go over top to blend. I'm going to take this brush and darken the inner and outer corner just a little bit more. leaving that space there for the halo. I'm still just mixing Endgame and Retro to create a darker version of Endgame. Or a darker version of Retro. I'm really liking how that's looking so far. And that original Retro brush, just blowing out the edges a little bit. Okay, so now I want to darken it up a little bit more. So I'm only going to take Endgame on that same little tiny brush and start bringing that on the inner corner in the crease. Add a little bit of Retro onto that original brush and blend again. I'm really liking how that's turning out so far. In retrospect, you probably could skip that bucked shade in the beginning, that transition shade I used, because I didn't actually end up keeping anything like that. I just went over with all the other colors. So I really like the way that looks. I don't feel like I need it to be any darker. Looks really nice on camera. So now let's kind of focus on this halo portion. I am going to be using a mix of Angel Fire and Reputation. I'm going to start with Reputation on the outer corners and then move into the middle there. I'm just using a very flat brush. It's hard to see on camera, but that looks really nice. It's just kind of pinky and metallic. It'll serve as a nice buffer between the brown and the bright center. Yeah, that looks really nice. Okay, so now we're going to kind of hopefully make this center pop. I'm going to go in with the Angel Fire shade. I'm not convinced this is going to be as bright as I want it to be. Oh, that's pretty bright. Okay. I might stand corrected. That's really pretty. It is not blinding, but it is beautiful. I'm going to use my finger just a little bit to see if I can get that to pop just a tiny bit more. That's actually super, super pretty. So I'm going to take that same color we just used, Angel Fire, and put it on my inner corner. It's kind of hard to see in the viewfinder, but it does have, it's like a champagne color with pink reflect. So it goes really nicely with the rest of these colors. Okay. I'm super pleased with how that turned out. That's really beautiful. Okay, so just to go back. Oh, also I forgot. This is the only Naked palette so far that did not actually include its own brush. So this does not come with a brush. So I used Bribe, Angel Fire, Retro, Reputation, Endgame, and Bucked for this tutorial. If you go to my actual blog post, which I'll link in the description box below, I do swatch all of these shades on my arms so that you can see what the rest of the shades look like. Just a little FYI for you. Okay, so I'm really happy with the way that that halo turned out. So let's go ahead and throw lashes on. I have not decided if I would like little lashes or big lashes, so let's see here. These. I don't even want to look at the other lashes. These are the ones. Okay, so the lashes I'm going to be using are my Lashaholic Luxury Lashes in Instaglam. Okay, so I put my hair in a bun. This is not a bun. Put my hair in a ponytail so that it didn't look so hideous. And now that my lashes are on, which I think they look so good with this eye look, I am going to do my lipsticks. So, if I can find them. So I am going to be using my BH Cosmetics Liquid Linen in the shade Monica. And over top with the gloss, I'm using my Urban Decay Hi-Fi Shine Gloss in Midnight Cowgirl. My hair is so sprouty. Okay, so now I'm going to go over top of that with Midnight Cowgirl. So pretty. Alright guys, and this is the final look. Watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and learned something new and cool today, and hopefully this video helps you make the decision on whether or not Naked Reloaded is the next palette you're going to purchase. I know if any of you are diehard Urban Decay fans, I'm sure it's already in your cart. But just in case any of you are on the edge, I hope that this helps solidify whether or not you are actually going to purchase this palette. My overall review is I really liked the way it performed. I think that the mattes blended really beautifully together. I was able to create that kind of intermediate shade that I was looking for by mixing the two colors together. As always, the shimmers leave a little bit to be desired in my opinion. Reputation, the pink one, that rose goldy shade, actually looked really, really beautiful. But Angel Fire, while it is really nice on the eyes, I just have come to expect a certain level of metallic finish on eyeshadows. Whether it's high-end or drugstore, it doesn't matter. And I think when it's lacking that kind of pop that I feel like it should have, it's always a little bit disappointing. I wish that it was a little bit more blinding, a little bit easier to apply with a brush, but I still think that I was able to get the desired effect on my eyes. I think that it still looks really pretty. Is it wearable? Absolutely. Is it workable? Absolutely. So if you are looking for a warm neutral palette and you love Urban Decay, this is definitely a good option. Very thin, lightweight, travel friendly. I'm glad to have it in my collection. I think it's definitely something that will be great for summer. Because of the warm peachy tones, I think it's definitely perfect for that kind of thing. So I am glad that I picked it up, and I am not super unhappy with how it performed. So that's my thoughts on this palette. If you guys want to see swatches and an overall review in a written form, that kind of stuff, be sure to check my blog out. I'm going to link that in the description box below. And if you guys are, whatever you guys want to see next, let me know in the comments below as well. I upload videos every Monday and Thursday, so be sure to stay tuned for my next one. And what else have we got? Subscribe if you haven't already. Join the party over here. It is a fun time. And if you're looking for my Instagram and social handles and that kind of stuff, it's at Blonde and Ambitious Blog on Facebook and Instagram. So be sure to check me out there. I'm most active on Instagram and Instagram stories, so come hang out and join the party on that front as well. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you guys have a really great rest of your week or weekend, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys!